Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first cards that we have out are Eight of Wands and Two of Swords. And the Hanged Man. Alright. This looks like before you go forward with something, there is something that needs to be seen or something that needs to be realized or something that needs to be understood. Having the Hanged Man here can be a time where there's like some confusion, there's something that you're trying to figure out, there's something that you're trying to like really see for the truth or what it actually is, and you can feel like your progress sort of gets stopped until this is something that ends up being worked through. On the other side of the Hanged Man, I'm seeing Ace of Wands and I'm seeing the Fool, which this can be about going for a new opportunity. Like something new that would be presenting itself to you. This can also be something different, like something that's different than what you're doing or different than what you've done before. This can be something that would be a bit, it could feel spontaneous if you did this, or just like not the usual type thing. How this can be. You can also be getting a lot of ideas at this time too. Or even just one idea where you're like, I don't know, that could be a risk for me to do that, but there's something about it where like I might be willing to take a chance on it. It can be like that type of thing. There can be sacrifice involved if you do move that way. Seems like this is to harmonize things better for you, like within your life in general. Some of you, it can be a particular area of your life. Meaning, like maybe for some of you this is about work. Maybe for others of you this is about a relationship you're in. Can just be in general, you looking at your life and being like, I don't know, some parts I feel like could be working better than they are. How do I do that? It looks like needing to go forward and address conflict that is presenting itself. But the conflict is about the opportunity. It's more so what this seems like. Okay, having Eight of Cups and having the Hermit here can be reflecting like, I feel like we just did a reading that spoke about this. Having Eight of Cups, there can be something coming to mind now, like something that you're feeling where you're really questioning. This is questioning. This isn't you doing anything yet because the Hermit is next to it. This is more so like when I'm thinking alone by myself, I'm reviewing a situation that I'm in and I'm asking myself, like, does it really have what I want, or is it like compatible with my emotional or internal values actually? Do I even feel like maybe there's a balance that feels fair to me, or am I feel like it's draining me or it's depleting me? There's a lack of balance, there's a lack of harmony within it, and it's not allowing this to be sustainable any longer for me. Having Hermit here is just you sort of spending time thinking about this rather than doing anything. Now is the time to think about this. I'm not seeing there be a suggestion of you to take action on this. It feels like right now, spend time thinking about it. Do not take action yet on this. Eventually you will be, but now is like a thinking time, to think about everything that would be involved in this. And what I'm seeing is that you can have an opportunity to potentially step out of this situation, which would mean usually like Hanged Man can speak about needing to surrender something, needing to give it up, but in order for you to sort of continue with things, this new opportunity that's coming through, having the Fool next to it, it could be like, it would be a chance or a risk for me to do that, or I would have to like sacrifice this to move that way, like that type of thing. And all of this, it feels like collectively is being thought about. Like I'm thinking about the opportunity that's presenting itself to me. I'm thinking about what I'm already involved in and how I feel about that. I'm thinking about the risk that would be involved, like all of those things. So I'm seeing it be a contemplative space that you're in about this. When it comes to where you're going and moving forward, I'm even getting this feeling of like I'm feeling a bit conflicted. Like, do I want to move forward with this or do I want to move forward with that? And it's almost feeling like you may have to choose, like maybe this is something where you can't do both of these things. There may be having to pick like one or the other here. That can be part of what the risk is that's involved. This would be for greater overall balance and harmony within your life, getting help making this choice that needs to be made. So so you can move forward confidently and be like, yeah, this is definitely the right way for me to go. So Four of Wands looks like the thing that you may potentially be walking away from if it's like not really a right fit for you. Four of Wands can be a relationship, it can be a home situation, it can be a job, it can be something where there's like potentially some type of commitment. I'm seeing it be in this context. At the same time though, Four of Wands is about stability when it comes to you putting your energy into something and getting energy back that allows something to be sustainable. So if you're involved in something where you're like, I'm putting so much energy in, I'm not really on an emotional level getting what I need out of it, how is that going to fare for me? And sort of sizing that up for yourself. Because some of you may look at this and be like, well, that's going to be fine for me. I'll just stay within this. But for some of you, you can look at this and be like, it's not good enough. Or like, it's not what I need. Or like, I think that I could do better. You know, like that type of thing. But then there's also the potential temporary loss of stability. I will say this too, it can be something in general that in some ways it does feel stable, but from an emotional place of you emotionally getting what you need and feeling fulfilled, that can be something that's lacking. Potentially, that's like coming into question here with Eight of Cups. It's like, am I getting what I need from this or am I not? Am I able to connect with this or is it not resonating with me? Or like, at what level is this resonating with me? And is that something that I want to continue being part of? I'm seeing you like trying your best, trying to work something out while also working with, it feels like disappointment about things. Disappointment, there can be loss. You can be like, been trying to work this out. I feel like it's not going very well. With Three of Pentacles and Five of Cups. Three of Pentacles is like actually putting in work and trying to get things to work and trying to collaborate and listen to one another, like that sort of thing. Five of Cups can be like, that's not actually what's happening. Like, I had an expectation for this to work out. Five of Cups is like, I'm looking at it and feeling like, sorry guys, my nose itches sometimes when I channel. You can be looking at this and being like, the intention was to like put all of our effort into this to try to work things out. Five of Cups can be like, it is definitely not meeting my expectations. So you can feel a bit at a loss here. But that can also be something that's hard to accept too. Like if you're unwilling to accept how you're actually feeling about what's going on, it can create conflict where it's like, where it gets in the way of you sort of seeing things clearly. It's like the vision becomes a two rather than a one. So when you're holding on to something that is not, it will also be like sort of making it seem like there are more options than there actually are, because there's only going to be like one right way for you to move through something. But when there's the illusion of I haven't fully accepted this, and so now I'm still hanging on to my lack of acceptance within this, like a lack of feeling my feelings about this, or accepting that this didn't work out how I wanted or how I thought that it would, or what I needed it to be in order to like be able to stay within this, those sorts of things. That's the type of thing that can make you feel like, give the impression of like, now I'm troubled here, which way do I go with this? It can be like that type of thing. Some of you too can also feel like there is like duty or responsibility that this can bring up tension about. Like if you made some type of commitment or you're playing a certain role, if you were potentially to move in the direction of a different or like another opportunity, and like to sort of give your energy to that, you could also be like, but I said I would give my energy to this too. And so that can feel like a bit of a conflict when it comes to the part of you that commits to things and then shows up within it. Even though something may not be working anymore and flexibility would be needed here, at the same time you could be like, but I made a promise. Even if something like isn't resonating with you anymore, that can also be part of this too. There can be more things than that. That's just one way that I'm seeing this can come up. It can be too this feeling of like, I was banking on this, or I really thought that this was gonna work out, and now that it's not, like what does that mean for me? And like having to go through that period of acceptance as well. Like I thought this role was one I was going to be playing for a long time, or this job I was going to have for a long time, or this like partner I was going to be with for a long time. It could be like those sorts of things. So like, what does this mean for you then? And like, or like for some of you, this can have to do with like resources and finances. It can be like that type of thing where it's like everybody like trying and putting in the energy that is like appropriate for this, but still it sort of not being enough with the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is like something just still isn't feeling right. Again, this feeling of feeling at a loss here. But then also knowing too that it's your responsibility to take care of things and to figure things out for yourself, to sort of take responsibility here for your life in this way. And I'm seeing that part of you is the one that's sort of looking at this opportunity, like this new chapter, a new thing for you to get involved in, looking that way at it, but knowing too, if I do that, that means more likely than not that I will not be participating in something that I've been participating in any longer, and needing to figure that out. I'm not seeing this be like, do this, do that. I'm seeing this be more so like, this is all the stuff that's being reviewed. This is all the stuff that's being digested, it's being processed, and then ultimately you're going to come to a place where you basically have a decision about this. But yeah, there can still be some stuff that you're like not totally, that you're refusing to see just a little bit still. I wonder if this is something that you've thought about before and you're like coming back to think about it again. I'm getting the feeling of it tastes like Sour Patch Kids or like Swedish Fish or something. I'm getting that taste in my mouth. Like some type of candy or something. This definitely feels like just matters of your life in general. I see King of Pentacles as being things that you're sort of moving through, but you're guiding yourself through, that have to do with life, like earth things, like responsibilities and commitments, and you being like reasonable with things and what you're doing with your life and like the roles that you're playing. It has to do with like those types of things, and also how you feel like you should be showing up to those things. And I do get the feeling with Eight of Cups, there being this question of like, do I want to keep doing this? But as I said before, I'm not seeing it be like, yeah, it's the Eight of Cups, now like walk away from it. This is more so like asking yourself, is this like, can I feel fulfilled here? Am I not going to feel fulfilled here? Like, what's really the answer? And I think too that this Five of Cups feels important too, because it has to do with what's going on an emotional level. And if you're not in the place to completely accept what it is that you're feeling, you're not going to be able to. It's like accepting the Five of Cups is integral in order for you to get to the Eight of Cups and have an answer then in that space. Five of Cups is like accepting this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Eight of Cups is then the question of like, can I still be okay with that then? Or is this something that I don't want to be involved in anymore? Or that I want to like try my luck elsewhere? It's like that type of thing that it comes down to. But if you're not doing step one, which is like needing to accept that this is different than you thought, you're not even going to be able to get to the point of asking yourself the question, as it is different than what I thought, is that okay or is that not okay then? And that sort of being what's coming to light here throughout all of this. I'm seeing that more so be the underlying basis. And even though there are like less cups than any other element in this reading, it feels like the cups are actually the most important part. Because having King of Pentacles, that can be the part of you that pushes through things and ignores your feelings sometimes. Or is like, I made a commitment, so I'm going to be loyal to that, rather than loyal to the truth that this may not be the thing for me anymore, you know? Like that part of you that may be more rigid sometimes and less flexible and more digging your heels in, even when emotionally something else is going on. But being like, I'll just ignore that, you know? Like I said, I'd show up, so I'm going to show up. And then you're not listening to yourself. And then you're feeling like more in conflict. And then you don't want to be, you're not feeling like you're proud of or getting value from playing this role because it doesn't actually align for you. So it like comes down to all of those things that are going on for like within you, within your life. I'm seeing Virgo here, which is going to be about spending time analyzing this. With the Hanged Man, it feels like the illusion is gone, like things have come to light now. It's going to be about accepting those things. You're either going to dig your heels in or you're going to accept it. You have like two options with Neptune when it's sort of unveiled. And then Uranus is like, do you want to do something that's unexpected and maybe like go for something or take a risk or take a chance and just see what happens? Uranus is inspired action and ideas and like an inspired opportunity that you could take to water something if you want to. Or you don't have to sort of take the offer to do that if you don't want to. But more than anything, being aware of what choice you would actually be making, and that really being the thing here. Because if you can pick something and be like, I can be like satisfied here actually, like I'm really thinking about that and I think that I'm okay with this, then like make whatever choice, you know. But if you're moving through something and being like, I don't even want to look at this, or I don't even want to accept that this isn't what I thought, and I'm going to keep like telling myself that maybe it'll be, maybe it'll be, maybe it'll be, and then it never is. It like keeps you in that space of limbo, and that can be very uncomfortable. So it feels more than anything like, even though this isn't telling you like you'd be better off doing this or you'd be better off doing that, you know what's going to be right for you, and being in a place of emotional and psychological acceptance is really important and feels like the backbone of this entire reading. So you'll know that the thing that you do moving forward, you may have to be brave. That may be something that you have to tap into, like your passion, your fire energy, or your sense of adventure even. Ending with Knight of Wands. Feels like it's allowing in more than just the energy of the King of Pentacles to maybe have this be like the other parts of you that are integrated into the conclusion that you're going to come to and helping you figure it out. And also too, seeing that this is not a failing on your part. Like Three of Pentacles shows you have showed up. And it even seems like for the most part, like maybe the other person has too. Maybe that's just gonna depend for some of you, but some of you, I'm seeing a situation where it's like both of you guys have been showing up. It's just like not working, you know, like it's not working out. But as I said before, this isn't a failing on your part. It's more so like, I thought that it was going to be like this. It's not like this. And now what do we do? What do I do? You know, it's about you and what you want to do. And recognizing that you're the one that makes this call, and that is a responsibility that you have because it is your life and you're the one guiding yourself through this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.